What's up guys, Vress here with 10 of the most popular MMOs in 2017. I've had a lot of people mention recently that they want to try a new MMO, but they're worried about joining a dead one. So I thought I'd put together a list of games that have healthy populations as of this year. Obviously we only have a rough idea of populations as most developers don't release exact numbers. That's why this video is titled 10 of the most popular, rather than top 10 most popular, and it's in no particular order. There are a few other games that could easily be on this list if we had more accurate numbers, and obviously MMO populations are very fluid. If you think I've missed one, then please let me know in the comments down below. Also, please remember this is a list of popular MMOs, not my personal favourites. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's dive right in. After a bit of a shaky launch and having to drop its subscription model, The Elder Scrolls Online has recovered remarkably well. ESO easily makes it into the top 3 or 4 most popular games on this list. Often the game is praised for having one of the most immersive storylines of any MMO, which isn't at all surprising given the history of the Elder Scrolls series. The graphics still hold up nicely considering its release date, and the zones always feel alive. There's certainly never a shortage of people to group up with. Also, there's plenty to do in ESO with a nice balance of PvE and PvP content. Next up we have Blade and Soul, a Korean MMO that has been praised for its well executed action combat system. One thing I often hear a lot of positive feedback about is the game's PvP. Also, the game's free to play, which has made it very accessible and is undoubtedly one of the reasons for its popularity. However, that's not to diminish the game's accomplishments. People wouldn't be hanging around if they were only trying it because it was free. Moving on to Guild Wars 2, still one of the big competitors in the MMO space and definitely one of the 3 or 4 most popular games on this list. Guild Wars 2 has a great storyline with plenty of interesting lore and quality voice acting, which I love to see in an MMO. The zones are always busy due to the scaling system, so you never feel like you're alone in the world. The graphics hold up nicely and the combat system is one of my personal favourites, though that's very subjective of course. The game definitely has a better PvE-PvP balance than it did at launch, and with a new expansion coming out in a couple of weeks, it's probably about to become even more popular. Next up we have Black Desert Online, a Korean title that received a huge amount of hype prior to launch. And while it hasn't become quite as big as some anticipated at the time, it's still proven to be a hugely popular MMO. The game features breathtaking graphics, at least as far as this genre is concerned, and the combat system has been very popular with those inclined towards action combat. One thing that's kept me personally from getting too involved with this game is the fact that it's very grindy, but others seem to be absolutely loving it and the zones feel busy and full of life. Moving on to Final Fantasy XIV, one of the few MMOs that has managed to successfully hold on to its subscription system. In true Final Fantasy style, the game features an immersive storyline with plenty of great cutscenes and spoken dialogue. The world looks amazing, especially considering it's several years old now, and due to the scaling system the zones are always busy. It's rare to go for long without bumping into another player. I personally enjoy the combat system in the game, though I do understand some people aren't fans of tab targeting and that it won't be for everyone. Regardless, Final Fantasy XIV is easily in the top 4 on this list, possibly even the top 2, and seems to be growing healthily with every new expansion. Next up we have RuneScape, the oldest MMO on the list, which makes it even more impressive that it still features as one of the most popular. From what I've seen, the world is always bustling with life, and there doesn't seem to ever be a shortage of people to play with. There's plenty of interesting lore, and providing you can put up with very cartoony graphics, the world itself doesn't look so bad, given its age. This is another very grindy game, which has kept me away from it a bit, but RuneScape is obviously doing something right to still be doing so well after all this time. Moving on to World of Warcraft, which is still the undisputed king of the MMO, at least in terms of popularity. To be honest, the way things are going, I think it will continue to hold the top spot for some time. People are so invested in WoW after all these years, and it's going to take something spectacular to draw them away from it. Due to its long lifespan and financial backing, WoW is incredibly well polished compared to almost any other MMO, and it features so much content that it's almost impossible to run out of things to do. However, don't expect to bump into a lot of people whilst leveling. WoW is all about the endgame, and the zones whilst leveling can be very sparsely populated. If you want to see people around, then I definitely recommend picking a higher population server. Next up we have EVE Online, a sandbox MMO set in space that's probably the most unique on this list due to not being a typical fantasy MMO like most of the others. People sometimes refer to EVE as spreadsheets in space, as the game features a very in-depth economic system. EVE is extremely involved and has a steep learning curve, which means it's probably never going to become the #1 most popular MMO. But the people who do play it seem to absolutely love it, and the game enjoys a healthy population of very engaged players. Moving on to Albion Online, the newest game on the list, having only launched a couple of months ago. Albion Online is a sandbox MMO that has become famous for its massively in-depth skill system and dynamic player-driven economy. The game's actually unique on this list due to its future availability on mobile devices, which will likely boost its player numbers significantly. As the game has only just launched, it's currently very well populated, but time will tell whether it remains on this list. Finally, we have Star Wars: The Old Republic, the most expensive MMO ever to be developed, and also the most successful launch in terms of initial sales. However, this success was short-lived and the game soon had to be moved to a free-to-play model, and to be honest, it hasn't really recovered since. That being said, the game still boasts a decent sized community and is far from being a dead MMO. If you're a Star Wars fan or just a player who enjoys a good storyline, then The Old Republic is still going to provide you with a lot of entertainment. The game features some great quest lines and voice acting, which is one of the key reasons that people are still sticking around. So there you have it, 10 of the most popular MMOs in 2017. Which MMOs are you playing this year? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to subscribe to my channel for regular content, and I will see you next time.